What's up? Back again. Man, it's been a day, but we made it here. Homage, or if you like to call it homage, however you like to call it, cast interviews. Today we got another special guest, another cast member from Homage will be joining us. Um, and possibly two or three. We might do a little shorter things, a little shorter today, um, instead of the lengthier ones before. So, like I told you guys a couple days ago, Homage this Saturday, um, April 10th. It's coming to you. Um, a lot of people are excited, and hope it stays that way. Into the homage contest. You got 48 hours from Saturday at 8 p.m. until Monday at 8 p.m. to get in your homage, briefs, to hoopgoodinc at gmail.com. How many ever that you can find, send them. The top two people are going to win some prizes. Second place, I got a $15 Apple gift card for all you movie people out there. And first place, like I said, I think it's going to be food, $25 somewhere. Um, so that's how we're going to do it. So let's see if we can get our guest in here, if it will let us. Now, for some reason, it's saying unable to join for him, and I'm not sure why. I see him here. But it's saying unable to join. I do see Megan on here, and now I see Chris. So let's do a little reversal, I guess. And so instead of our first guest, we're gonna have Matt Conway come on first. Well, here we go. Maybe this will work. We'll get Matt Conway on here, and then we'll also get Chris on here, maybe at the same time. This ring light don't like that light all in there. Maybe we'll get them at the same time, talk a little bit, about their characters. And what's up, man?
How's it going? Doing good.
Maybe at the same time. So what happened there? It said unable to join. Were you on like another device?
I was on my computer and all that jazz. I don't know why it would let me go, and it was weird. But I'm on here now.
Okay, cool. You had a little lag there for a second, but seem to be back good now. So I just want to hop right back in. What the people don't know is because this is kind of a surprise one. People didn't know this one was coming. So we were a little late today. But that's cool.
You're good, man.
We didn't put it out there. So first off, why don't you tell the people just a little bit about yourself and your background?
Well, my name's Matthew Conway. Very down-to-earth guy. I like to work out 3 times a week. Been involved with acting for about 6 years, about 6.5 years. Started out in the theater and everything else like that. My other spare time, I like to read whenever I'm feeling it. Most artists have to read a lot, but I'm getting to that process where I'm motivating myself to read a lot and everything else like that. I like to take myself out. Very, very private dude. I'm very down to earth, and circles like really small. Don't really have like a crowd, but you gotta have a private life sometimes. You gotta be alone sometimes. But other than that, just a very chill, down to earth dude, and very nice guy to get along with as well.
Cool. So, for most people seeing this, they kind of know what we're doing. No, but you are an actor, been acting. Um, what's a couple projects you've been in the past that people can maybe see you in, or that you really liked, something like that?
Wait, what was that? You were breaking up a little bit.
Oh yeah, what's a few projects? You're an actor. What's a few projects you have been in, and things like that? Just tell us about some of the projects you've done.
Oh, past project done recently was Black Wolf. Done Real Spires Web, and did Tears of the Clown, Chance the Movie, my first SAG film that got me SAG eligible. So far, my best character and role so far I've done was Black Wolf's Rod Bingleston. And playing Rod Bingleston in Black Wolf, he's really raw, ex-military. He's intimidated, very barely. He cares really much about his girlfriend Patty, and he hates Black Wolf for the passion and just trying to get that money and has start a new life with Patty. And Chance Move was pretty much a great experience. I auditioned for that process. Oh, that's on Prime Video right now. And JB Croft, great Hollywood director, great dude, and everything else. He loved my audition, and the producer that plays Nina, she loved it as well. And it was a very great experience of playing the role as Columbus Ump. And Real Spires Web, that was a brutal, brutal shoot and hot summer days in 2018, and had sunburn, suntan. But playing Juan was a pretty kind of like a douchey character, but he just wants his laser, get all the money to himself, not with his crew and everything, but ends up not having it. We end up getting killed. But if you see the movie on YouTube, The Real Spires Web, you'll understand the story and that character and that role. But anyway, it's like starting out in acting. When I first got my foot in the film industry, it was in 2017. But before I did all that, I found this local agency. They invited me in, I auditioned for them, and I trained for this competition called International Mall and Town Association, short for IMTA. It was about like a 2-3 month process. You're pretty much preparing to perform in front of casting agents and directors throughout the globe. They come to New York City and Los Angeles twice a year, and I did the one in New York City. And through that process, it was my first time in New York. I had a great time and everything, and it was just, I felt like a 12-year-old kid, like a kid from Huntington, West Virginia that's never been to big cities like that, can, pretty much get a spark on you. But after that 1 week and everything else like that, I had to find out and try to motivate myself to try to get my foot in. I didn't have an agent, like a legit agent or manager at that time. I still don't to this day. But I had to find a way to get my foot in. So Out in the Fullest of Time started. I went in as the E word, extra. But, that's what everyone, actor and actress, starts out as, sometimes if they're, they're lucky. And about 6.5 hours on set, had my first speaking role. They gave me a speaking role, and I was shocked. And camera was like right here, and I'll never forget my lines to this day. We got direct orders from Malcolm. We're going in. Boom, in character, NIA agent, nobody move, and everything. So, but at that point, I was like, okay, this is what I want to try to do with my life. I'm still working on it and everything. I just had a training session like not too long ago with my coach out in LA, and she's great. She's an actress as well. She's done some film work. She's worked with Mitchell Musso, but I won't say her name. It's very private right now. But other than that, it's been a good journey, and it's really hard. If the journey's like not hard, it's not going to be worth it. The journey's easy, it's not worth it. So, but other than that, it's been great.
Okay, cool. So yeah, that's some good background on you and letting the people know. So when you let's say when you take on a character or whatever, what's kind of your process to take on that character, to become that character? What's kind of the process you use for that?
Got to figure out who he is as a person. What's he want in this scene? What is he trying to deliver in each line? Try to see this guy going to be very intimidated. Butch, very intimidated guy. You know, cares about his girl. He wants the money. Really trying to define that character and trying to figure out who I really want to be. You know, and try to deliver that scene and process through the course. So trying to figure out who I am as that character and what I want in each scene. So yeah.
Okay, cool. So yeah, you kind of led me into it. So um, in this upcoming film of mine here, Homage or Homage, however you want to say it, I always say that because when I first was telling people, they're like, "No, it's this," and I'm like, "Well, you can say it either way. So however you want to say it, that's fine." So you played a character like you said, Butch. Um, you gave me a little bit description of him. So what are some ways maybe you felt Butch was similar to you, Matthew Conway, as yourself, and some ways he's different? Some maybe you never thought of.
I kind of pretty much like him both ways, basically. Like in a little bit in my past life, I kind of brought my past life to Butch, to that character. You know, in my past life, I was kind of like a tool, douchebag, and everything else like that. So I kind of brought that character along from myself to his character as well. You know, to try to deliver that a little bit more and everything. And the beard at the time, you know, I saw Butch with a beard as well, even though that beard was for Rod Bingleton as well. Like, okay, I think Butch can be a guy with a beard, basically. So, but anyway, I try to bring that my old self from my old times, like in my early 20s or late teens, into that character as much as I can. Depends on the story, you know.
Yeah. And what are some ways maybe Butch was like far away from what Matthew Conway would do or be without giving away too much, I guess?
I'm sorry, what do you mean like by that?
Like, so you kind of said how you and Butch, what you could see Butch and you as similar from your past. How would you guys be different? Different from each other,
Uh,
I guess.
I say
I'm
Butch.
making you think tonight.
What was that? You broke up a little
But
bit.
I'm making you think tonight.
Pretty much like Butch, more very violent, and Matthew Conway is like a little laid back, nice. Very much far apart from that.
Right,
You know,
right.
Butch is
Okay.
like, do not F with me, do not this and that. Matthew Conway is like, hey, okay, it's cool, it's cool. I got you, I got you. So
Right.
something like that.
So
Yeah.
so I know you said you pulled off of kind of your former self or whatever. So was that maybe difficult to go back into that mode that I guess you probably separated yourself from? Was it difficult to go back into that type of guy for this, or was it just like, a job? I'm doing a job.
Basically, it was a little bit difficult to adjust it a little bit. You know, like
Hmm.
our first set date, I had to figure out fast in a way to try to get him. But at the same time, it was kind of like a job, but at the same time, you still had to find that character to develop it. So basically, it was just trying to find that character and try to get to that mode and rhythm and routine to know what I want in that scene. So in each scene, I should say.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's a little about Butch. So as far as the film as a whole, how would you, again, without too much, how would you describe it to someone? I guess, how would you describe it to someone?
Wait, what was that? You broke up again. I think we
Yeah.
got bad service or something. I think I might have bad service.
Yeah. So as far as the film, how would you describe it to someone?
Mm,
Did you hear me that?
a little bit. You said I heard the word describe, but I was like, describe the character again.
No, describe the film, the movie as a whole.
Okay. Gotcha. Sorry about that. Pretty much action, intense, a little violent, gambling. Butch wants everything. So basically, it's a little bit raw, type of way, really deep. So type of a film. How I say gangster, a little bit gangster too. Kind of
Yeah,
like get rich, like kind of like a get rich or die trying kind of feel like '50s movie, just a little bit.
just a little bit. I've never
Yeah,
even actually seen that. I never even actually seen that movie. So
really awesome. You need to
yeah,
watch it, man. It's amazing. 50 can act. That was my
really.
first. I'm like, wow, 50 can act. Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
well, yeah, I knew he could act, but I just never saw that movie ever. So I don't know. And so, and with Butch, you got to work with Michelle Snyder a lot, the Belle character, who she does a lot of great work. How was it working with her? Do you think? Do you feel?
Oh, it was good. It was my first time meeting her. I knew on the first set day, I'm like, okay, I'm dealing with someone that has a little more experience than me, which I definitely respect. And it like was like a last minute thing, last minute offer. She even told me at one point before we had, I think it was our before our first date, she's like, just be you, be your character, deliver it, motivate me a little bit. So other than that, it was really good to work with Michelle. It really was. So it was a woman that's got a bright future too as well. So
Yeah, I agree. I agree. She got some good stuff on the way that I've seen. So yeah, and so I guess maybe the second shoot day, um, the next guy I'm gonna bring in here, you did some stuff with Chris and watched him work a little bit. Chris Dettone, the money man. Um, how'd you feel working with him? Was that your first time working with him also?
it's my first time working with him too. Yep. Yeah, but he was a good dude and everything else. And I say he's got a good future as well if he keeps sticking with it. Training never stops no matter what. But other than that, he's got a good future. So I hope he does really well. So
Cool. So I mean, what else are you besides that? We got this coming out on Saturday. Are is there what are you working on currently, or any auditions coming up that you can talk about, or any projects you gonna go into production soon, or anything like that?
I got two films ahead of me, The World of Element and Bud Tenders, basically from Time Girl Productions, probably like a studio out in Chicago, like mid high budget film. You got few people that done some big Hollywood works in it for The World of Element. We got like maybe 93, 95 cast members in that movie on The World of Element. Script hasn't come out yet, but I say hopefully late this year or early next year. I say around this time next year we'll probably start shooting, start filming. And so it's I'm very excited about that and all that. So Bud Tenders, not sure when we're going to be shooting that, but we'll just take it day by day. Right now, I'm just living day by day and just working out 3 times a week, training every single week with my coach, and trying to be myself. I'm learning more about myself as well. You know, like who I am as a person, who I am as an artist, and just trying to be the best actor I can be in the future. You know, if an audition comes up, I'll do it. If an offer comes up, depends on what the script is and what my character is, I will do it. But other than that, things are going good. I'm a very private dude. Like I said, I got 2 more projects ahead, and I just really want to try to be successful in this industry, even possibly next level. I just need to be surrounded by the good and right people for that as well, and patience, virtue, and everything. But sometimes that's a good thing. So I'm trusting God and His plan. He's got a plan for me. So hopefully things will turn out really great soon.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, I know everybody's gonna love what you did in Homage and what you continue to do. I've seen some of your stuff, and this is the second project of mine that you've been in. So, I'll keep calling you and hopefully you won't blow up too much. You stop answering. So, what?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I definitely remember. I definitely remember Mixer. Yeah, it was really cold in October. Yeah, I remember the line. I haven't seen the movie since it came out. I run a motion offense, and I love the press. Here, let me show you. You know, just like be a little flirty and all that. You know, so but yeah, that was the day we first met and everything. Yeah,
Yep.
and I saw your potential as a director. I was like, okay, this guy can direct. Okay, cool. Okay, I see him. All right, and then you're like, Matt. Guys, I'm like, yeah, what's this? I'm like, oh, okay, that's not bad lines. All right, cool. So. But yeah, that was a good process of Mixer. It really was. So yeah.
Appreciate that. Well, man, appreciate you, for coming on and joining. You know, again, we'll check you out. Everybody will be able to check you out on Saturday, 8 p.m. And, I hope you enjoy the rest of your night. And I'm going to bring Chris in now, and we'll talk soon, man.
Yep. Also, Black Wolf's coming out soon. Chance the movie, Prime Video, Tears of the Clown, Prime Video, out in full time, Prime Video. Check them out. Good movies. More coming soon. You guys have a good night. Be safe. Brandon, thank you so much for having me. Talk to you soon.
No problem, man. Have a good night.
You too, brother. All right, man.
All right. So, what's up, my man, Chris? Now, the first question I want to ask you.
Yeah.
I see the nice blazer and shirt. Do you got the pants below, or is it just some basketball shorts or something? I'm gonna call you out.
Full disclosure, I'm casual. I got blue jeans on, but yeah, I'll cop to that, no problem. But I wore this for a couple of meetings today, and I'm like, if I'm going live later, I think I'll just leave it on. Like it makes the whole experience for me. So
nice. So I can mess with you like that, because I just want to.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
I just want to see. So, man, for the people here, that don't know much about you, why don't you tell them a little bit about yourself? Much you want to tell, maybe even outside of film, just a little background on yourself,
Okay. Well, turned 30 years old this year, so weep for me. That's why you guys get to deal with the plague of cicadas in Ohio this year, is because I turned 30. That's my gift to everybody. But I'm a dad of two. As of this year, my daughter Layla was born the day after Christmas, and we've been for the last 3 months adjusting to being parents of two. I picked up acting in 2016, I believe, is when we did my first project. Sounds about right. And pretty much ever since then, I've been hooked, managing it alongside a small art studio that my wife and I own. So it's been a heck of a ride.
That's great. Now you got a growing filmography. I've been seeing you in a lot of. Every time I turn on somebody doing something, it seems like you got a part in it. So, how does that come about? Are you doing a lot of auditioning? Are you getting a lot of people just approaching you with projects? How's that going?
It's a bit of both. To be completely honest, when I did my first project, the one bit of advice my mentor gave me was to go in and, when you had the opportunity, talk to everybody that you were allowed to talk to. And anybody that's been on a big budget set knows what I mean by that. Some people they have to talk to you first before you're allowed to talk to them. But once they do, the door is very much open for two-way conversation. So I got the privilege of chatting with some pretty amazing people throughout the course of my brief career so far. And every project I did sort of led to one or two more. And I've met some fantastic directors through the course of doing so, yourself included, along with, Paul Gorman, Naeem David, everybody who's doing these projects. They're just prolific. And to be completely honest, being included in that sort of ensemble cast, if you will, has been a great honor. It's been fantastic to work with each and every one of you. So.
Great. So, I saw you in most recently, what was that called with Naeem, just came out?
We did First Edition, which just dropped.
First to
We
do.
have another one coming out called Twin Thieves, where I play my own twin, which was a first for me, which is fun.
Oh,
So,
so yeah, how was that dynamic? Were you kind of playing it as, you know, well, obviously identical, but were you kind of playing it as like same type of person mentally, or were they different mentally, or is that too much to say for it?
well, without going into too much detail, the cool part about it is everybody's familiar with the process of trying to make a critical decision. You often argue with yourself in your head. So what I did was essentially assign both sides of that argument to one of the twins. I kind of view one of them as my confidence and the other one as my doubt. And it's a lot of fun to sort of hear them talk out loud. And I'll tell you, I've already seen, I believe, the final cut of the film. If not, it's well past rough and into edited at this point. But it's a short, so you know it was brief. But it was something that Naeem voiced a desire to develop into a feature, and I got to say I'm pretty excited about it because just embodying those two for the briefest moment was something that was not only cathartic but a lot of fun. Like getting to have that two-way conversation with yourself is, you know, something that you really don't get to voice out loud because people look at you funny, especially if you do it at the grocery store, you know,
Right.
something like that. But getting to do it on film and see people's reaction to it's been a blast. So
Okay. Okay. Cool. So you are in. Well, we wanted to do something a while ago that didn't quite uh, get going or whatever. So this is the second one, right? Uh,
I believe so. Yeah, we've talked a couple of times, but I had two kids in 2 years, which
yeah.
sort of made my availability spotty, which I'm eternally sorry for because I missed out on some awesome projects. I've seen everything that I was slated to be in and missed, and I'm like, man, I would have loved to have been in that. But
Yeah.
yeah, I believe this is either our first or our second. If so, it's been brief each
Yeah.
time, and I know you had Megan on recently, and that was a lot of fun to come out and see. But I'm looking forward to working with you more because I know you have more ideas coming, and I want to see them. So
I got a ton of them. So, along with just being an actor, you also do some like fight coordinating, stunt type
hmm?
stuff.
Yep.
Get into doing that.
To be completely honest, I've done martial arts since I was, I think, 7. I started with Taekwondo at that point, branched out into Jeet Kune Do, a few other, you know, stylized areas that are meant for more self-defense. And I realized that essentially the only thing between a choreographed fight and a real fight is how much force you put into the blows. And if you can make the other person aware of what they need to do to make it look like you put more than you did into each punch and each kick, then you have a choreographed fight pre-built. So you end up finding people who know how to react and know how to act and know how to do each at the appropriate time. And once you've got that group of people you can work with, you've got a whole stunt team. So at that point, it just kind of comes down to making sure the conditions you're working in are safe. I've gotten to do some fantastic things. I think one of my most amazing stunt experiences was on Dodging the Bullet with Josh Luckett. I got to fall off what amounted to stacks of carpet that put me 12, 15 feet up in the air. My character took a couple of gunshot wounds, and at that point, he, you know, succumbed to them and fell, bouncing off of these rolls of carpet all the way down. It's a pretty cool take. I got to say, he managed to capture it really well. Bouncing right up to your feet again and getting to see everybody's reactions when you do something like that and to pull it off correctly, because God knows the best stunt performers have accidents, but you know everybody hopes for a good take with no injuries. But when you get to see everybody's face concerned for you as though they believe you really were injured, it's like, well, I guess that came off then. You know, I guess
Yeah.
the performance was good.
Yeah.
So
And we actually had that experience a little bit in Homage when, not to give much away, but the people were very impressed at your ability in that particular part of the movie. Like, oh,
good.
I heard a lot of wow, that was, that was good.
He okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought the same thing. Like, man, that looked real.
I heard a couple. I feel like I heard a couple of people think, "Don't talk and ruin the take," but God, I hope he's all right, kind of
Right.
thing. Yeah.
So, speaking of that, uh, in Homage, you play the Money Man, and that is your character's name, Money Man.
Yeah.
What did you think about that character? You know, I guess as you were reading and going into it, what did you think about the character?
He was sly, but again, without giving it away too much, there's always a bigger fish. There's always a circumstance you can't see coming.
Right.
And this guy believed he could see them all coming, and that's kind of what I loved about him.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes him a tragic, fated sort of character, but at the same time, you can't help but grab a performance like that and sort of just want to run with it. As far as people will let you before the other shoe drops, so to speak.
Yeah, and like I asked Matt, like with the Money Man, did you feel any like similarities between yourself personally and the character, and differences? What are some similarities and differences you feel like you have with the Money Man?
To answer that, I'll tell you how I got into the mindset to play him. And it's really funny you mentioned, because I was actually briefly in Riddle of the Spider's Web as well, though he and I don't believe were ever on set at the same day. I played a waiter at a French Caribbean restaurant that a couple of the crew members of the ship go to, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. But it was my first time working with him in person, which was a fantastic pleasure as well. We've been friends on Facebook for years.
Working with who? What'd you say? You broke up there.
Matt. Yeah, previous guest.
Gotcha.
But I think in order to get into his mindset, I thought, well, what would I do if I had goals and pretty much no empathy left? I removed myself from all decency and sort of just let myself be pure ambition.
Mm-hmm.
And it was sort of liberating, but I'm kind of wondering how somebody who lived that way didn't die sooner. Not to give that
Like
sort of texture to the character.
Yeah, like in his thing.
How did he make it this far in life without running into a circumstance he couldn't deal with? And that sort of makes me want to know more about the character, but at the same time, his mystique is in not knowing.
Right.
Yeah. And that's what I really enjoyed about him. But you really had to embody the whole. He's a nihilist. He almost doesn't care about anything, I think. And I've really enjoyed that part of it. So.
Cool. Yeah, that was a good character to write. I liked him just for that slyness and all of that stuff. I liked writing his dialogue and stuff, and how he would talk.
To summarize it, a character who you wonder how he's made it this far in life, I believe is what I was trying to say. He's
you said
almost purely elemental.
Yeah. So, as far as the film as a whole, what would you tell people? They're like, why should I watch it? Why should I watch it? What would you say to them?
Because it's going to surprise you. You're not going to expect some of the twists it's going to take. Some of the characters will be what you expect them to be, and then some of the ones you really think are going to be are not. The twists themselves make this plot worth it, and by the time the movie's over, you're not going to realize you sat through the whole thing. And that's the beautiful part, is that once you're grabbed, you don't want to get up and walk away. It takes a moment, and then you realize that you're watching a really well-written story, and that's something that should compel people to watch it. So,
thank you. Yeah, it has that element of a lot of moving parts, a lot of fragmentation, I guess you would call it, because things are kind of broken up. It's like a postmodernism form of a lot of people. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but a lot of the
a little bit
fragmentation, a little disorientation. Although this, I don't know if it does it that much. More so the fragmented type of things. But yeah, I'm ready to see what people are thinking. So you can see those comments. I wondered. I was about to mention to you that someone, I think that's Doug.
Doug Lowe.
Yeah, Doug Lowe. And thanks for
gentleman and a scholar.
Yeah,
I love that man. He's so much fun to work with. So
cool. Thanks for joining in, Doug Lowe. I think you just recently followed us here. Uh, Glad to have you as a follower. And I've seen you around on Facebook and stuff too. Just never, I don't think we ever actually spoke. Um, but yeah, I'm pretty excited to show the people. We've been talking about it for a while. It took a little bit of time just for, editing process.
Yeah, you had the honor of being the only thing I filmed in 2020. The only thing. Homage was
Yeah.
the whole slice of cake. Yeah, that was
Okay.
all of it.
Well, yeah, and it was towards the end of the year. I think maybe that was in October that we did that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just before that.
yeah, just before October. Well, yeah, that's pretty good then. So um, that's really all I got. Oh, you talked about the Twin Thieves. Um, do you got anything else lined up or coming soon or anything like that?
I will tell you that I have a couple of titles coming from Matty GTV this year. If you're familiar with my work that I've done with them, I'll tell you that these are sequels. So if you've seen me in anything they've done before, you should have a pretty good guess of what I've done previously. Um, Aside from that, I'm not gonna go into too much detail, but I will be working a lot with Naeem this year. So anything coming from Brave Runner Films, keep your eyes out.
Mm-hmm.
And as always, feel free to check out anything I've been in before. If you haven't caught it yet, Mindhunter is still on Netflix. That was my first role ever. I got to stand in for Jonathan Groff on and off for a solid year. And, fantastic guy. I don't know if he's going to see this, but I actually sent him a text shortly after he was in Hamilton, and I told him I was insulted that he never once threatened to kill my friends and family to tell me how much he loved me. So, uh, but yeah, no, if you guys want to check out anything I'm in, a lot of it's up on Prime. Whatever isn't is on Roku channels. IMDb will tell you where to watch it, and I appreciate each and every one of you. So thank you very much as well for having me on here, Brandon. It's been awesome.
No problem, man. And we'll have to do it again sometime. We'll get
Yeah,
you something's going. You actually, uh, I do have an anthology series in production right now. Actually, that you are in the episode of that.
oh,
Fighting. Remember, if you
I
remember.
was gonna say if you didn't tell people, I wasn't going to, but yeah, we're gonna be doing some stunt work together here soon, so I'm
I'll
looking
tell
forward
you,
to that as well.
I haven't been all the way pushing that right now, just because I've been
Yeah,
getting this, and after Saturday it's gonna come out. Then I'm gonna jump into a lot of the BTS that we've been doing and telling people about this anthology and things like that. But since you're here, let them know.
yeah,
Tell me.
no problem at all. Works with me. I'm looking forward to making some magic there too. So I've got some ideas with regard to what we can do. So,
Cool, cool. So yeah, man, appreciate you. Thanks for coming, Megan.
yeah,
If you're right there, thank you for letting me be available a lot. Oh, and thank you for your role in our anthology. She's actually had a small role too in one of the episodes that I just was editing. Um, did
I'm
great.
looking forward to seeing that too. Honestly, she
Oh,
she
yeah.
was very excited to get the call, and quite frankly, she's surprised me. I want to see her in more stuff, and the fact that you guys reached out to her really made me
Yeah,
happy.
yeah.
So,
We'll get it. I want to get everybody, so I will get them. But yeah, man, thanks
all
for
right.
coming. This lasted a little longer than I anticipated, but that's cool. The whole thing. So thanks for coming, man, and we'll talk soon.
Yeah. Have a great rest of your night.
All right. See you. So yeah, I appreciate y'all. Thanks for stopping in to the Homage Cast interviews. Um, it's probably gonna be the last day. I'm not gonna get to do one tomorrow. I don't think before the premiere on Saturday, 8 p.m. streaming on YouTube. Like I said, we went YouTube this round. We go Amazon Prime a lot. We went YouTube because we really wanted to get views and people to see it and see this project. A lot of people, some people don't have it, Amazon Prime, but everybody can get on YouTube and watch it. So that's why we decided to go this route. Um, Saturday, 8 p.m. It's going to be the premiere on YouTube and the Homage contest. Don't forget, you got 48 hours from 8 p.m. Saturday until 8 p.m. Monday. You send an email to hoopgoodinc@gmail.com. As many homages that you find in the movie, whether it's characters, character names, a line of dialogue, a situation maybe, because there are a lot of them, and there's a lot of hidden ones. I'll give you guys it's some 80s stuff in there, some Tarantino stuff in there, and more than just on the surface. There's a couple that you'll know, boom, right off the bat, but there's a lot laying under. So I'm giving away gift cards to the top two people. $15 Apple gift card for second place, and it's looking like a $25 gift card to some type of restaurant. I'm giving away, and for you to just watch the film, send some emails. So, with that being said, hey, Laura Rady, what's up? She's also in Homage, kind of like a cameo, a smaller part. Helped us out. You may have seen her at Mixer also, but helped us out in Homage when we got down a person kind of last minute, which was great. Thanks a lot to her. Also, if you guys, just like reading, my main thing is I write, and I've been working on some short stories or whatever, and it's kind of one big story, but it's broken up into short stories. I approached my friend Laura here to kind of be the face of this character, just to put a face with the character as you read. I'm gonna put a link out to that. I've been sending it to a couple people, but I'm gonna get out there more. I think it's about 5 chapters, if you will, right now. So, and there's more coming. I've just been busy, but I've been wanting to do them more, but I've just been busy. So, yes, thank you, Laura. So, we're going Saturday, 8 p.m. Thank y'all for joining us. I'm gonna get out of here, and I'll be posting that link for the movie probably tomorrow. I'll post it up so it's there. Facebook, maybe do something here so that you know, and we'll be ready. We're ready. So thank you guys, and I hope you guys have a good night. See you.